Thanks for joining me, everyone. In this video, I've got two Krakens that I'd like to share with you guys in the Andrea Doria. Hopefully I didn't butcher that up too bad, but as you can see right off the start, we got a cruiser trying to duck behind that island, and I'm like, no sir, not gonna have any of that. And we're gonna go ahead and get him yeeted right back to port. Love it. First blood and a death strike. So this ship actually plays a lot like the Tier 4 Premium Julio Caesar. And if you don't have that ship, I'm telling you, definitely worth it. Fun times. Obviously, you guys know I post a bunch of Tier 4 and a bunch of Tier 5 stuff. So, again, if you do have it, it really does play just like it. And anybody who is working this line or has already worked this line knows that I'm pretty much preaching to the choir. This is a fun ship to play. Definitely agile, good reload. The turret traverse is pretty good as well. Secondaries are real good if a DD is stupid enough to get that close. So I'm telling you, it is definitely a fun ship. But here we go. Genizen now, he's angled. He's looking at us, and you know, I'm going to go ahead and make sure we get to HE, because as you saw, that first shot, you know, the AP didn't do a whole heck of a lot. Luckily, he's not even shooting at us. Shots go right above us. Thank you very much. So we're going to go ahead and try to get some fires on him, and we definitely want to go ahead and just keep working him down, right? Now, here's where Genizen now, I get it, he's all by his lonesome, he's not pushing, but if he would have pushed and got them secondaries engaged, them torpedoes, man, and especially Genizen now is not really that good at range or even mid. It's like, it's pretty decent, but the closer you get Genizen now, the better off she gets, man, I'm telling you. But we're not going to talk about Genizen now. We're going to go ahead and get Genizen now chipped down and get that ship sent right back to port just like the rest. Now luckily everybody's focusing firing on them, and you can see fires going, so getting chipped away, right? So this last shot, I mean, RNG is something else, man. Watch this last shot, getting whittled down. And normally I don't come out on top of this, but you can see 3 people shot at him. He had 3 salvos on that little bit of sliver health. I love it. So at this point, I can see that the rest of the enemy team is on the other side of this island. So there's no point in going to the right side. Let's go right up the center and get engaged with these ships. So I can see on the mini map that the one DD, he's all the way over there by York. York just popped up, so I'm not worried about him. There's going to be another DD floating around here somewhere, obviously. But again, I'm just trying to get in here, get engaged. You can see the team is starting to melt, and when this happens, they melt quick. So in order to pull off those Krakens, if you see that the enemy team is melting, don't be afraid. Get aggressive. Just start pushing, man. I mean, for whatever reason, I just can't understand. It's weird, man. It's like there's battles where the enemy team or your team, you guys know, being on the blue team is something else sometimes. You know, they really do. They melt so fast, it just makes you scratch your head like, what? Like, what happened here? But that does make the close battles just that much more. But you can see Devonshire giving us his broadside. We're going to go ahead and punish him for that. But we also know torpedoes are definitely incoming. So this is where I start turning inward and just kind of hit the brakes because I don't know where they're coming. Boop. There you see. So kind of figured that much, right? So here we got California. We're going to just stay bow on, because obviously if we give up our broadside, he's going to definitely give us a whooping. And then we got Colorado out there, same thing, but that's why I kind of look just to see where his guns are pointed. But nevertheless, we're not worried about it. We're staying bow on. We're going to keep fighting, right? I mean, we're not going to play scared. But the one thing I can say, Tier 5 is going to be probably my tops. I would say that's my favorite. That's where, man, you can make so much currency. It's crazy. I mean, a lot of great ships at Tier 5. I mean, I've got so many favorites It's not even funny at that tier. You get, some tier 4, some tier 6s mixed in, so a little bit of the best of all the worlds, right? Because if you're in tier 4, you do get some tier 3s, which feels a little seal clubbing. Tier 6, when you get up in there, you actually can get, you can get your butt handed to you by some of these tier 7s, man. I mean, some tier 6s, especially like, let's say Nelson. Man, I've Citadel Nelson through the bow, right through the bow. So, it's not as balanced. So tier 5, I mean, the currency, everybody's moving. I mean, you look, the entire team pushed forward. Fun times. And the only one running is obviously the last couple ones. They're just trying to survive, understandable. But it really is just such a fun tier. So if you got it, man, jump in there and just have a blast. And there we go. We got our Kraken. But fun times. Definitely fun times at tier 5, guys. I absolutely love it. I would probably say California, Hyuga, Warspite, T61. Those are definitely among my tops. And I got, man, Andrea Doria now. I'm grinding this and absolutely loving this ship. You just saw, man. I mean, we just racked up 5 kills, Dev Strike, First Blood. I mean, fun ship. Absolutely love it. Look at the way she maneuvers. She's not slow. She's not sluggish. So I'm telling you, man, premium ships are fun, but there is a lot of tier 5 tech tree, tier 4, tier 6, you name it, all the tiers. A lot of great tech tree ships. So we got our first one down. Let's jump into the next one. Now, in this one, I do play a little bit more aggressive than what I probably normally would. I don't know. I play aggressive no matter what. But so in this one, though, it's like, this is my cap. I'm kicking everybody out of this cap. And nobody's taking this cap from me. No, in all seriousness, I do have the tier advantage. Obviously, you see New York's pushing. It's going to be 4 DDs on here, so I got 2 of my DDs that are already pushing inside the cap. I got another one getting ready to go around me, and you can see my last DD, he's heading back up this way as well. So we got all of our DDs kind of dumb bunching one side, so I figure we're going to have the number advantage, so let me go ahead and push. That is definitely one of the main reasons why I decide to go ahead and be really aggressive and jump in here. But obviously want to support my DDs. And I actually make a bad call. Because I'm like, all right, I see Ramet. I'm telling you guys, if you at least get a laugh out of me not being able to pronounce these ships, fantastic. But nevertheless, I see a cruiser. I'm licking my chops. Now, I've got HE loaded. I was kind of hoping maybe a DD would pop up, but I'm like, all right, so he's going to clear this island. Let me see if I can get AP loaded. And I'm like, all right, come on, 19, 18, come on, time's ticking. And at that point, I realized, daggone it, I switched too late, because as you can see, he dumps right in behind that island, and I'm not getting any shots off. So I'm like, all right. I'll wait until he clears this island. All right, so that's why I'm just like, all right, keep focusing, and just trying to hold my shot. And he starts angling, and that's where I'm like, daggone it. Yep, not going to get him. Too far up. Didn't bring it back far enough. So, yeah, kind of screwed the pooch on that one, right? So, here we got New York. I'm like, all right, he's focusing on me. We got 3 of our DDs over there. So, I'm like, you know what? 3 DDs over there should be able to handle the T61. Now, granted, yes, Ramat, whatever the name is of that cruiser, I know he's over there, but he's tucked behind that island. I'm not going to get shots on him, so that's why I'm just like, all right, let me worry about New York. And you'll see what I mean. New York and me are going to go ahead and go toe-to-toe. I've got the tier advantage. I've also got the agility advantage. So, yeah, not a battle he's going to win. And that's where I was like, see, T-61's over there, but literally there's 2 other DDs over there. So between those 3, they really should get T-61 taken care of. So that's why I didn't bother shooting. I'm going to keep my guns loaded because I want to go ahead and focus on New York. He's nice and broadside. As you can see, he's going to start turning. That's where I'm like, I don't want to give up my broadside to him. And I'm like, oh, dude, you're shooting HE. Oh, nice. No problem. You can have my broadside all day long shooting HE. So here we go. He's giving us his broadside. He ain't got no paint. Not even a little bit. So, look, just helping you guys out, man. If you don't put paint on your ships, it's your prerogative, obviously. But, paint, it does help. It does make it look a little bit better. But you do get an incoming dispersion as well as it helps out your detectability a little bit off the get-go. But, again, if you don't want to, your choice. So, as you can see, he got himself beached. He's trying to get turned around. And we got nothing but the broadside. We're going to stay angled because we are not going to give him the broadside. And we're going to go ahead and get him sent right on back to port. Nothing he can do about it. And boop boop. See you, brother. So now here's where it's like, all right, now I can focus back on my team. Well, wait a minute. They're gone. So somehow that cruiser and that DD literally took out almost the entire squad of DDs that went and pushed that side. So I'm over here by my lonesome. I'm like, all right, no problem. We'll just do what we got to do. Here we got T-61. See ya, homie. Look at that. All 5 shells connected. I bet you he was not expecting that. So now I see on the mini-map, we got another DD inbound, right? You can see he's creeping up on that island. I'm like, all right. So he's going to try to sneak in my back door. So we got Ramit. Daggone it. I don't know. Kill 'em all. DK. That's his gamer tag. Kill them all, bro. I like that. I'll give you that one. So he tries to dump off some torps. That didn't work. He's going to try to jump back behind those islands, behind the smoke, and, playing it smart. Good job, man. But guess what? I'm hunting you. You're not getting away. This is my cap. Like I said, I'm kicking everybody out. So you can see the DD. He's probably like, man, he's probably trying to figure out which way to go around because I'm not spotted. So you can see he's kind of positioning to kind of go back one way, right? Because other than that, I'm the only one over here, all by my lonesome. And you can see our DD is starting to come back in. So he is going to come back and support me, which I do appreciate. You guys will see that. But that DD, he's probably looking at his chops. He just doesn't know. So, nevertheless, I'm just waiting. I'm trying to play it smart. I know there's going to be some torps flying in here. That smoke is going to run out. There's no need for me to just, push in and get torpedoed, right? Because he set that smoke a hot minute ago, so it's going to disperse. Nevertheless, I'm just waiting, biting our time, right? And there he goes. Yep. See you, brother. That's it. End game. Back to port, homie. So now I'm like, all right, my cap. So that DD decided, kamikaze, he's heading back. So I took out the cruiser. He decided he's going back the other way. And guess what? We got HE loaded. And that's what I mean, man. Make sure we get those caps. Get in there and fight. There's nothing to be afraid of, man. It's just a game. Fun times. So for anyone who doesn't know, you can see I'm currently in full reverse, 14.5 knots, and then I'm going to hit the island. It's going to drop me down to 8 and then down to 2.2 knots. So using the island to come to an abrupt stop and either get going forward or get going backwards, hey, use it. It's smart. Obviously, use it in a tactical way. So, but we're going to go ahead and get out of the cap and get this guy hunted down. And I know he's out there, and boom, I'm like, wow, really, dude? Thank you. You made my job easy, homie. Kamikaze, and he's trying to throw shots? Oh, my guy. I mean, talk about being ballsy, man. Like, that thing is not a gunboat in even the slightest bit. So, he's like, uh-oh. He's probably thinking he might have made a mistake, right? Because I'm shooting. I got my DD shooting. Those torpedoes are not connected, and he's gonna go ahead and hit the smoke. Sorry, it's too late, homie. I've already got you in my sights. And we give him a detonation. Absolutely love it, man. Yeah, bad call, brother. That little ninja assassin, you just want to go ahead and keep out of distance and tort people with that thing. But hey, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. So now here is where I would suggest is being definitely more tactical when it comes to laying smoke for your ally. So my guy sees I'm getting hammered right now. I've got everybody sitting behind the island, and they're just going to rain down HE on me, right? So my guy, being smart, watch. He sets the smoke screen for me. I dump a little bit behind the island because obviously I'm trying to get unspotted, but he's the one. Yep, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. He's the one who got me unspotted. So good job, dude. That's how you look out for your teammates. When people set smoke screens in the beginning on the approach, I mean, I can see where if you're in a division and you're using it, like you're in a DD and you're setting it for your cruiser buddy to get him on his approach so he doesn't get deleted right off the bat. That I can see. But setting a smoke screen to cover the approach on battleships, dude, you're wasting it. So, but we're going to go ahead and make sure we get Omaha. He is not going to get our DD, and we get him sent right back to port, and we get our Kraken. Nevertheless, gave up a little too much broadside, and New Mexico makes us pay for it because he rung our bell. So we got HE loaded, and at this point, I'm like, all right, 664, 580. We got these two left. It's really just me and my DD that's actually right here next to me, because our other DD, if you notice, he's all the way at the top of the map. I have no idea what he's doing up there. And actually, you know what? I tell you what, as of right now, anybody who's all the way at the edge of the map for no good reason whatsoever, let's call them our map inspectors. So if you look up and your teammate or an enemy is at the map for no good reason, he is inspecting the integrity of the edge of the map. So we play it smart, man. New Mexico was right there. We got the HE loaded, taking him out, and we got our 6th kill. Absolutely love it. And that's just, you know, playing smart and having a good teammate, because there's no way I would have been able to do that without that DD. So good job, dude. Much appreciated, my guy. So we're going to keep pushing in. We're going to get in that cap. We're going to go ahead and get it to where the points have stopped. I know that this DD's, he's probably just kind of sitting right there. Yep, see, he's going to pop up. He's waiting. He's going to dump some torps. So I don't want to just go pushing and chasing this guy. You know, I don't want to give away the win. So we're just going to keep pushing forward. Make sure that that island's in between us and him. But nevertheless, if we can get a shot off, that's what we want to do. But main thing, just let's bring home the win. We got our 6 kill Kraken. We got high cal. We took in enough damage. We're going to get our dreadnought. So we're good to go, right? Don't get me wrong. 7th kill is always juicy, but we got another cap. And I mean, hey, 2 caps in 1 battle as a battleship. Hey, that's really doing some work there, man. Nevertheless, we're going to keep pushing. Clock is ticking. And you know what? Here comes some torps. Luckily, they're short. And we're good to go. So we will go ahead and jump back to port. I will go ahead and share the ship and commander setup. I do have obviously the sniper Azure Lane build, which I'll share with you guys. I also have an alternate build that's going to be a brawler setup, and the now base commander, who you can run a sniper setup as well. So we'll go ahead and jump back to port and get that on for you guys. But as you can see, he went ahead and played it smart. He wants to stay alive, so he's going to go ahead and stay back there. And that's it. Game 1, got our dreadnought. We did a good job. So big props out to our DD, who gave us much needed help. Let's get his gamer tag shot out. And that's going to be our guy, Leonidas Primal. Let's start with the upgrades. So for the first slot, I'm going to run Aiming System Mod 1, so that way I can get that 7% dispersion on the main battery. She already has a pretty decent rudder shift, so I didn't really feel it was necessary to go steering gears mod 2. I'd rather get her up and going a lot quicker, so that's why I went propulsion mod 2. And then your last 3 upgrades, of course. So Andrea Doria really does play just like Tier 4 Julio Caesar. And if you don't have this, or you're thinking about getting it or wondering if it's worth it, I can assure you it is a fun ship. You'll absolutely love it. And as you can see, running the same commander and same thing aiming system. So getting back over to her though, you're going to have, especially for the entire line, you're going to have 3 options. If you don't have the Azure Lane Littorio, you've got 2 base options. So when this does come, available, I would suggest getting it. I definitely like this setup. Her base trait is fantastic. So obviously inspirations, I'm going to run Andrew Cunningham for that shell grouping and Scharnhorst for that dispersion. But this is what I was talking about. Her base trait, battleship's time of repair, fire extinguishing, and recovering from flood, to get that down 10% as a base trait is fantastic at any tier. And tree skills, flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, marksmanship, reaching out, and will to rebuild. So this is where, if you do have her, you can go reaching out. I obviously did that on this run, but you'll see on the brawler setup, I'm not running reaching out. So these other 2 traits, emergency specialist as well as Sarginian discipline, could definitely be a viable option. And I'll show you what I mean. So for the first base commander that I was using was de Revel, and as you can see, I am not running reaching out. But definitely still again, Andrew Cunningham, Scharnhorst for that dispersion. But hypothetically, you don't have Scharnhorst, I'm going to always suggest Madden is a solid option. You get reload as well as that turret traverse. So I would definitely use him if you don't have any premium commanders. And actually, let's just go ahead and jump over there. For those who, maybe you're just joining or you're not sure, who's Madden? Where's he at? Let's just go ahead and hop over. Charles Madden. And as you can see, his base trait, main battery traverse speed and main battery reload. So that's why I would definitely suggest that, especially in any ship, really. It's just such a solid trait. So his base trait is going to be battleship main battery reload. So always a solid choice. And this is where it's up to you. You can go no fly zone. Now I can tell you tier 4, tier 5, you're going to see a lot more aircraft carriers. So no fly zone, it's going to help. But hypothetically, you don't want to go that. You can definitely get the risk of fire as well as risk of flooding and torpedo damage down. So again, up to you. I would definitely never suggest anything that's going to cut my main battery range by 10%. Just saying. But again, that's going to be your call. And then Porcupine, Firefighter, Master Mechanic, and Will to Rebuild. So this is going to be a solid brawler build, and I'm telling you, fun times. Now, hypothetically, you really not into the brawler setup. They do now have another commander available, which is going to be a sniper build. And let's look at him a little bit closer, because he has 2 traits where you could stack that. Actually wouldn't be too bad. So as you can see, I don't have him maxed out, obviously, because I'm running Azure Lane, but his base trait, pretty interesting. You've got your battleship main battery shell grouping when shooting at battleships, so it can get all the way up to 3%. When shooting at cruisers, all the way up to 7%. When shooting at destroyers, all the way up to 3%. So pretty interesting. Now, his tree skills, you've got flammable cannoneer, dry rating drill bits, marksmanship, and this is where I was saying you could go reaching out, but Iron Resolve, stack that along with Testudo, and again, I'm sorry if I'm saying all these correctly, I tend to butcher some of these names, I swear, but this could stack actually pretty decent. Duration of repair party and damage control party when they are active at the same time. You can get that all the way up to 15%. And then that, combined with incoming damage from shells, torpedoes, and bombs to your battleship while repair party is active, man, that's not bad. Now, hypothetically, you could run this guy, and then if you've got Azure Lane, you could put that as a base perk. That wouldn't be too bad. That's a pretty solid survival build, along with being a sniper. So almost, I guess you could even say a little bit of a hybrid, a little bit of a mix. Not sure how you would want to classify it. I mean, you're not putting everything into sniper. You're actually going to put a little bit into survivability. So I guess more along the lines of a hybrid. So either which way, there's multiple options, multiple setups for this ship. Highly recommend it for a tech tree ship. You just saw 2 Krakens, fun times. So this is my ship and commander suggestions. So I hope the information I provided helped. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, stay frosty out there.